50 Cent is going to call Trump and stop him from pardoning Diddy. Photos of Diddy from inside Fort Dix have leaked, and 50 Cent is going crazy. Why is Diddy telling everyone in prison that he's going to get out soon? And does he know something that we don't?
50 Cent don't give a damn. He don't give a damn. He literally is saying he's going to reach out to Trump to remind Trump of the things that P. Diddy has said about him for the sole express purposes of making sure that Trump doesn't pardon Diddy in the event that Diddy gets convicted of sex trafficking and racketeering. That's what 50 Cent is sworn to do. And I got to admit to you, that's wild. Damn, you know you got an enemy there when the man want to go out of his way to contact the president, and clearly he has some kind of inroads where he can get to President Trump so President Trump can hear him. He's basically saying, yo, brother need to go down.
Diddy knew that there was no way he was going to get out. So even before his sentencing, his team was in talks with Trump over the possibility of a pardon. Senior White House officials confirmed that Diddy's lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, had reached out to them in hopes of a pardon. Trump even confirmed it himself multiple times, saying that he and Diddy used to be good friends.
Trump over the years, there was some sort of relationship there. President Trump even called him a good friend on a 2012 episode of his TV show The Apprentice. The problem is, some comments Diddy made about Trump in recent years as Diddy really entered the political realm. There's a video where he's speaking to radio host Charlemagne saying, if Trump gets elected, I really do believe in my heart there'll be a race war. In another video on Revolt, he says white men like Trump need to be banished. And by the way, you know who's not letting anyone forget this? Combs' rival 50 Cent. Took to social media recently, wrote, see, Trump don't like S like this, buddy, you run your mouth too much. And Donald doesn't take well to disrespect and doesn't forget who chooses to go against him. While working tirelessly to make America great again, there is no room for distraction. He would consider pardoning anyone who is being mistreated, not Puff Daddy. And let me tell you, the idea of Trump pardoning Diddy is not getting a ton of love out there.
Diddy didn't want anyone to know that he was begging Trump for a pardon. But 50 still found out, and he was quick to remind Trump why he should stay away from Diddy. 50 posted on his Instagram and Twitter videos of Diddy's hate campaign against Trump to remind Trump that he can't forgive Diddy. One of the tweets said, see, Trump don't like ST like this, buddy. You run your mouth too much.
White men like Trump need to be banished. Trump gets elected, I really do believe in my heart there'll be a race war. That's why this message is not just to black people. You know what I'm saying? This message is to everybody. This man is really trying to turn us against each other and put us in a situation. America messed up.
Then Trump now clarifies his comments.
It isn't the first time that 50 has come after Diddy, either. Just a few weeks ago, right before Diddy's sentencing, 50 sent a letter to the judge asking him to not let Diddy out. In his letter, 50 talked about just how dangerous Diddy actually was and how he might come after the victims if he was allowed to get out. 50 also mentioned how he had been investigating Diddy for a long time and was planning to release a documentary soon.
50 Cent said, you know what, you guys? Let me also write a letter to the judge. 50 said, dear Judge Subramanian, I have an ongoing dispute with Puffy for over 20 years. He's very dangerous. Multiple times I have feared for my life. I think you should consider the safety of the general public, Your Honor, before unleashing him upon them. There hasn't been enough time for him to reform or make any adjustments, despite him trying to teach a class in there. As you are already aware, the government has spent the maximum amount of money on deploying federal agencies, which appear to be an army in 2 locations simultaneously. Later, his son, who's dealing with his own rape allegations. Hey, come on, brother. Come on, man. What Christian Combs got to do with this, 50? He claimed that the feds had hit the wrong house. Anyway, Diddy's only going to return to hiring more male sex workers and keeping most of the baby oil away from the general public. And babies need it. My Netflix doc on this scandalous subject is coming soon. Oh man, this is downright evil, you guys. Why would 50 send this to the judge?
Things have not been going the way Diddy might have hoped. Trump doesn't forgive, and he doesn't forget. Back when Trump ran for office, Diddy launched a hate campaign against him and even launched his own political party. Trump has said in a recent interview that the things Diddy said against him are going to make it very hard to approve a pardon.
Things have got too serious of a point. Seeing what's going on, white men like Trump need to be banished. That way of thinking is real dangerous. This man literally threatened the lives of us and our families about going to vote.
Stand back and stand by.
Stand back and stand by.
Yeah.
We're in a war. We're not taking this like it's a war. We're taking this like, oh, we're in a presidential election. No, we're in a war of love versus hate. The number one priority is to get Trump out of office. The tribe of people that have the responsibility and really should be scared to death of this man is white people.
Explain.
If this man is elected, we're not standing by no more getting killed. We're not scared of anybody standing up and standing by. We're on the verge of a race war.
Diddy was a good friend of yours back then. He has since found himself in some very serious legal trouble.
Yeah, that's true.
Would you ever consider pardoning him?
Well, nobody's asked. You had to be the one to ask, Peter, but nobody's asked. But I know people are thinking about it. I know they're thinking about it. I think some people have been very close to asking. First of all, I'd look at what's happening, and I haven't been watching it too closely, although it's certainly getting a lot of coverage. I haven't seen him. I haven't spoken to him in years. He used to really like me a lot, but I think when I ran for politics, that relationship busted up. From what I read, I don't know. He didn't tell me that, but I'd read some little bit nasty statements in the paper all of a sudden. You know, it's different. You become a much different person when you run for politics and you do what's right. I could do other things, and I'm sure he'd like me, and I'm sure other people would like me, but it wouldn't be as good for our country. As we said, our country's doing really well because of what we're doing. So it's not a popularity contest. So I don't know. I would certainly look at the facts. If I think somebody was mistreated, whether they like me or don't like me, it wouldn't have any impact on me.
Now, believe it or not, but TMZ is actually reporting that a source close to the president informed them that a pardon might be coming for Diddy as early as next week. Trump has talked to Diddy directly, and allegedly, Trump is considering a pardon. If Trump actually goes through with it, Diddy will get away with everything he did.
Just 3 days after Diddy was sentenced to over 4 years in prison on prostitution charges, President Donald Trump seems to confirm he's heard from the mogul's legal team. The comments coming Monday from the Oval Office as reporters asked about a pardon for Jeffrey Epstein's accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, who's serving 20 years for child sex trafficking.
I wouldn't consider it or not consider it. I don't know anything about it, but I will speak to the DOJ.
Why would she be a candidate for clemency, sir?
I don't know. I mean, I'd have to speak to the DOJ. I'll look at it. I have a lot of people who have asked me for pardons. I call him Puff Daddy has asked me for a pardon.
I love Diddy. You know, he's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy. I think he's a good guy. I'm going to stick up for him.
Trump and Diddy's ties go all the way back to the late 90s. Diddy was reportedly a guest at the president's 2005 wedding, and they ran in the same social circles.
One mogul after another. It's mogul time.
It's your boy Diddy.
ET's cameras caught them together at this New York charity event in 2008.
One of Diddy's lawyers has also confirmed the possibility of a pardon and said that while he cannot give out any details at the moment, Diddy is planning something that is going to shock everyone. According to him, Diddy is planning a comeback the likes of which no one is expecting. Is this a way to hint at Diddy's upcoming pardon?
President Trump, as we've just played, said that Sean Combs had reached out to him. Do you know how that happened? Did he write a letter? Did somebody place a call for him? How did that happen?
I know that it did. I'm not going to betray exactly how, but I know that there has been that communication, and I know that obviously Sean would welcome a commutation or a pardon. It's no secret. I saw today with great interest that there was another person who the president commuted his sentence because of
right, a Bitcoin
what he
person who pled guilty.
Yeah, correct. And got sentenced, and President thought it was an overreach. If that was an overreach, and I forget the exact sentence, but I think it pales in comparison to Sean's. And remember, one of the things that is irksome, if you will, about Sean's, and I call him Sean, the president calls him Puff Daddy. I call him Sean as long as I've known him. One of the things that is somewhat irksome is that the government took a big swing at him, and basically tried to get him into take his entire fortune and net worth and the rest of his life, and they lost. And I think that the 50-month sentence was punitive, if you will. I think, if anything, he should have gotten some consideration for the fact that he took the gamble, he risked it, he went to trial, and basically beat all the mandatory life sentences, and beat the mandatory divestiture of all of his assets.
Now, the final thing I want to say is this. I asked Joe Tacopina, what about Trump's comment? What does it do to the jury? And he thought it was a nightmare for Diddy that Donald Trump said this. And the reason he thinks that is when the jury goes into deliberations, they could end up saying, well, look, I mean, even if we convict him, because we kind of think he's guilty, we're not sure he's guilty, but if we find him guilty, he's probably going to get pardoned because Trump kind of sent that message.
Let's not forget that Diddy had very close relations with the government for years. Everyone in the streets knew that Diddy was working with the feds. Suge Knight said that Diddy has been an informant for the feds, and they're going to help him escape a sentence one way or the other. The cops knew exactly what Puffy was involved, but Puffy never got indicted. It's possible that Diddy might even have a secret immunity deal lined up already.
How does it go on for so long? When we were on the street, we didn't get a day's rest. I mean, the government was all over us. The FBI is all over us. They got investigations on us. They got informants. They got surveillance equipment.
He was not cutting you off, but he was an informant for years.
Was he really?
Yeah. That's why when people was like, oh, he's going to run, oh, he's not. It's the reason why these type of people get caught up. They always been telling they bigger than the law because they part of the law, And as you know, all these people get tired of their rats sooner or later.
This is the same thing Gene Deal confirmed after the sentencing. There is no bridge that Diddy isn't willing to cross to get away. He will lie, beg, and cheat if he can escape this sentence. Gene said that Diddy will beg Trump for a pardon and use every means available to escape. Diddy knows that his reputation in the streets puts him in danger behind bars. A ton of people want to get revenge on Diddy, and prison is the best place to do that.
I think that he's going to use every method, whether it's appeals, whether it's Trump. He's going to use every method he can to get out of jail earlier than what he can. He's going to use all his resources to do whatever he has to do. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what he's supposed to do. Don't you think so? He's supposed to use all his resources he can to get out of jail.
You think Trump would do it?
I don't know. Trump is a very vindictive person. And like he said, he didn't say, I used to like the guy, but he didn't say a lot of nice things to me, about me. So if it would come by, if it come by his desk and if it's something is monetary to Trump and it's his last year, but Diddy should be out before Trump last year. He only gonna do 2 years, bro. He go 2 years, he go to the halfway house. That's it.
Diddy is planning something big. Inmates from inside Fort Dix said that Diddy has been bragging about an upcoming pardon and said that he's going to get out very soon. Citing unnamed sources at the Fort Dix Federal Correctional Institute in New Jersey, TMZ said, Diddy is yapping about Trump pardoning him in early 2026. TMZ also noted that sources claimed Diddy is telling other inmates he will take care of them when he's pardoned and set free.
Don't you hate people that don't know when to shut the hell up? Now look, it's this Diddy thing. Look what he's saying now. Diddy been running around Fort Dix, bragging about Trump supposed to be pardoning him early next year. This is what he's telling the inmates. But I'm gonna tell you why he's telling them that. And I don't like it. See, Diddy think he's slick. See, Diddy know they on his ass, and he trying to figure out between washing clothes and all this other shit, trying to figure out how he can stay cool and stay protected. Well, this is why. This is how. What if I told you sources inside the prison are telling us Diddy is letting fellow inmates know he will take care of them? Why? Because he wants them off his ass, and he's gonna do that when he's pardoned and set free. So you kind of feel me where this is going. Lucky for Diddy, he don't know when to shut up, because he may have had a chance to have a pardon if he was shut the hell up. Now, if Trump was gonna pardon him in early 2026, that shit over now, because he done put it all out there to the world instead of just keeping quiet. What if I told you?
The only person faster than TMZ is 50 Cent. 50 was reacting to Diddy's leaked prison pictures the second they were out, and wasted no time in clowning Puffy. A prison guard working at Fort Dix sold pictures of Diddy to TMZ, where Diddy can be seen standing in the courtyard smiling with a bunch of other inmates.
50 Cent takes to social media to wish Diddy a happy birthday. 50 Cent took to his Instagram and said, "I told you he'd be alright. His appeal going. Diddy good. Happy birthday, LOL." And he included this video that literally made me cry. Like, what did I just watch? Yesterday, he was also trolling Diddy when these pictures emerged of Diddy in the yard making friends at Fort Dix. 50 Cent said, "He looked happy to me with all the handsome men around. Good morning, New York."
He posted a picture of him smiling and wrote the caption, "Diddy beat the Rio. That boy a bad man. He like the gay John Gotti." Hey, yo, chill. Then he posted this one. He said, "Diddy just told me to tell y'all don't worry about him. He gonna hold it down." I'm not gonna lie, it seemed like 50 Cent happy that Diddy didn't go to jail. As much as he don't like Diddy, I don't think he wanted to really see him in jail doing life. That's crazy.
A photo was leaked of Diddy walking the prison yard. Here's a photo of Diddy inside FCI Fort Dix in New Jersey, walking around the prison yard. This photo most likely came from a staff member at the prison who probably sold the photo. What this tells me is this institution might be more lax on rules because the first day Diddy was in there, a photo was already leaked. The whole time Diddy was in MDC Brooklyn, not a single photo leaked.
50 isn't done with Diddy just because Diddy is behind bars now. He's going to release a docuseries with Netflix that is going to reveal all of Diddy's crimes. The docuseries titled Diddy Do It was announced back in December of 2023. And according to reports by insiders, production is almost complete now. 50 claims that his docuseries doesn't focus on any of the gossip happening right now, but is instead going to focus on the details of how Diddy's criminal enterprise worked. A statement released by Netflix reads, "This is a story with significant human impact. It is a complex narrative spanning decades, not just the headlines or clips seen so far. We remain steadfast in our commitment to give a voice to the voiceless and to present authentic and nuanced perspectives."
Netflix docuseries that you've been working on, Diddy Do It.
Right.
You've been saying for years that you feel you knew Diddy's character.
Right.
Yet you said you weren't a part of that lifestyle, you weren't going to the parties. So what makes you so absolutely sure that these kinds of allegations that we've seen against him are true?
Well, I'm surprised by the allegations, as surprised as everyone else is. Like, I didn't make the allegations. I didn't tell people to say these things. It comes out, I see it in the news like everyone else. But I did feel uncomfortable with the way you would present the idea of going to these projects.
To come party with me.
Yeah. And then that swayed me away from it. Just that alone.
So you didn't realize
as much stuff was coming. Like, when I seen today, it was allegations of 3 men that said he drugged them, and it's a long time, to be honest with you. Like, when people don't remember being violated for 20 years, it makes me feel a little hard.
What are your thoughts on the allegations against Jay-Z?
That was interesting. When I was saying things, not knowing exactly what I was saying, but I was going, where's Jay at? He's mad quiet. Like while the Puffy thing was going on. But it's obvious now that his team was being made aware that he was in those allegations also. You know, so.
Unlike Diddy, 50 has nothing to hide. There is nothing in his past that people like Diddy can dig up to use against him. In an industry full of Diddy's accomplices, 50 is the only one who valued his integrity more than a Diddy party. Everyone else is quiet because they were partying with Diddy back in the day. 50, on the other hand, stayed away from anything that could compromise his principles.
And you don't throw out allegations, but like you kind of poke fun at them.
You just ask questions.
You're not worried that it comes back your way? Like people dig up your past and try to pull stuff up?
I don't got that shit in my past. I'm not.
Everybody got a little bit.
Look,
like, not that it's real enough.
I took a pill, but it was for me to perform better. For her to remember, buddy. I didn't fucking give her a drink so she forget what the fuck happened. What the fuck is going on here, bro? Yes, I took the drug. I gave me the fucking drug to perform. So she could remember and possibly love me for that.
Did it work?
What the fuck? Yo, bro, look, I'm doing pretty good. Like, doing pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm just saying, this is the opposite of normal shit that we're talking about, bro.
That is why. I don't know why it's so hard for people
so
just
for
to
people to
acknowledge
feel
weird
like
shit is
you
weird.
would have something or you would have reserved energy because you feel like you was doing it too. This is people that are looking on separation between their hardships or their the things that they got going on that would be issues and what a celebrity's issues would be.
Wait, what does that mean?
They think all celebrities are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Right, and when you see, if I wasn't saying anything, guess what? You could safely say that a person on the outskirts that is not involved in hip-hop culture could think that everybody in hip-hop culture is with that shit.
Let's not forget the real reason that Diddy transferred to Fort Dix was so his sentence could be reduced. His lawyers specifically requested Fort Dix, claiming that it is close to New York and Diddy wants his family to visit. But we all know why he's really there. Fort Dix has a drug program where, if you can prove that you were addicted to drugs and managed to quit, you get almost a year off your sentence. The RDAP is an intensive, 500-hour, 9-month substance abuse treatment program for inmates. A release date for Diddy is also being finalized right now. If everything goes according to Diddy's plan, he could be out as early as 2028.
At the time of the sentencing, a substantial sentence must be given to serve an example to abusers and victims alike. That decision did not sit well with Combs' attorney, Tenny Garagos, who emphasized that her client was found not guilty of the more serious charges in his case, telling ABC News just minutes after the sentencing, the jury made it very clear in their verdict that they acquitted him of the sex trafficking and the RICO counts. Not guilty means not guilty. Combs' attorney Alexandra Shapiro, who is leading the team appealing Combs' sentence, described Subramanian's decision to ABC News as totally inconsistent with the jury verdict.
Sean Diddy Combs was transferred to the federal prison at Fort Dix, New Jersey yesterday, where he will start to serve the rest of his 50-month sentence. Combs had been held at a detention center in Brooklyn. He was convicted in July on 2 counts of interstate prostitution. Combs is slated to be released in May of 2028, but could be released earlier for good behavior.
Diddy tried to hide the fact that he was reaching out to Trump for a pardon. He knew that if 50 found out, 50 would do his best to stop it from happening. The more attention this issue gets, the harder it will be for Diddy to get pardoned. No one wants to take responsibility for a criminal like Diddy getting out. Initially, Diddy only told one person about his plan. Diddy's lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, said that Diddy told him to talk to Trump and tell him, "I need a pardon. Get me a pardon."
To everyone, a senior White House official declined to comment on, quote, speculation and told us any decision on pardons would come from the president himself. Combs' attorney, Mark Agnifilo, said he has not talked to the Trump administration about it.
You mean to tell me that you really have nothing to do with a possible pardon right now?
Nothing. I have nothing to do with a possible pardon.
What is Sean Combs saying about the possibility of a pardon?
I think he knows I'm not political. We've never discussed it other than I tell him what's in the news about it. But you know.
And what's his reaction? Does he laugh? Does he say, let's look into it? What does he say?
Go tell him that I need a pardon. Go tell him I deserve a pardon. That's what he said.
How are you preparing him?
So I tell him what the guidelines are, you know, and the guidelines are about 2 or 3 years. And I tell him, you know, the judge could go above the guidelines.
Do you have any regrets in how you tried this case?
It's a good question. Not really. Not really.
You called the relationship between Combs and Ventura a great modern love story. Ventura says she was raped, physically abused, and became addicted to drugs because of Combs.
I think that's what makes it, the rape we vehemently deny. And I know, I respect that she said that. I don't think the jury concluded that that happened. In terms of the drugs and the other stuff, I think that's what makes it a modern love story. I think she very much loved him, and I know he very much loved her.
Cassie Ventura's attorney told us that Agnifalo's description of the relationship is a, quote, complete disgrace and affront to survivors of domestic violence. Now,
the lawyers, when they were speaking on Diddy being in prison and the circumstances him being in prison, I didn't never hear about this, and nobody ever said anything about this. And I want to know if it's in the prison records. They said one of the guards stopped a dude from shanking Diddy. Now, I'm like, if he was doing all this positive shit in jail, and they was talking about he was, all the inmates loved him, and they was employing him and doing standing ovation. I wonder what inmate was trying to shake him. Was that one of the Tupac? Was that one of the Tupac fans, or that was one of Biggie fans? Because they said that the guard, they said that in court, one of the lawyers, one of the guards stopped one of the individuals that was trying to shank him, bruh. And that was crazy. Nobody, I never, that didn't leak. Everything leaks from prison, but that didn't leak. Nobody wrote home and said, yo, dudes is in here trying to stab Diddy up. But the lawyers mentioned that today. I want to see if they're going to investigate that right there. You know what I'm saying? And base that, or he probably used that, base that on trying to help Diddy getting into one of those camps or one of those programs.
Diddy begging for a pardon, 50 clowning him online, and Trump sitting back watching the chaos. You can't make this stuff up. And if Diddy really thinks Trump's going to save him after all that trash he talked about, he might want to start writing a new verse from inside Fort Dix. Hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready, because if Diddy gets that pardon, 50's next post is going to break the internet.